I like a proper strong coffee. Yeah, I
Ooh.
don't have it very often though.
I know you like yours like you like your men. Hello there. I'm Ash Mannix, and I'm with my not so patient co-host Kuxel.
Yes, I am very impatient.
I mean, so impatient that this will be coming out a week after the last episode, but we're recording it straight after here. He couldn't wait.
I don't know what you're doing, man.
I'm literally because I'm not purposely trying to be an arse, even though I like to be. It's just that it was coming to the hour mark, and I don't want to go over an hour per episode.
I don't I don't understand your your preoccupation with set time limits. I just make a video as long as it's going to be.
I like to I just like to have it around an hour. It feels better. I have been burnt using Blender and having to render these bastards, and I know recently I've found a way to not have that issue.
Yes, and thank God you are no longer using Blender. You have entered the modern era
Well,
of
of
video
editing.
editing.
No, I mean I think part of the blame lies on me for whatever settings I was setting, because I might have been putting in higher settings that like increase the time it would take uh like twofold, threefold without realizing it. Um but yeah, either way, 37 minutes for a render is fucking beautiful for 60 frames per second, 1 hour, 2K res.
I think you're also using like X264 rather than
No,
265,
I
right?
265. I put it on 265 this time, and it was about this. It was a bit less.
No, this time, but
Yeah.
like before.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But like I fucked up. I'd set it to lossless or something or whatever. I put a setting to lossless, and the last video I produced was 38 gigs. I was like, it took the whole day to upload to YouTube, and I was losing my head. I was like, why the fuck is this taking so long? Why is I was blaming my internet connection. I had the conversation with you. I was like, oh man, something's wrong with my upload speed, or maybe YouTube's limiting me because I'm uploading a second video in one day. Um, nope, it's because I'm a complete idiot. So yes, I like my hour. I just like to have it within around an hour. Just makes me feel good. I'm weird. It's true. But yes, in the last episode or the last part, I don't know if I should be calling these episodes or really parts because it's not really an episode. I don't know. In the last part of the playthrough, we got to the room in this love hotel where a crime scene seemingly happened. Some weird stuff happened where it was locked and then not locked, and then we went in and there was, we found some people unconscious, a police officer and a girl potentially, or a woman who likes pigtails, a blonde woman on the floor. And then there was like, we found out we couldn't get out of that room. It somehow locked itself and we couldn't unlock it. And there was knocking from the other side of the door. So someone in the corridor came and started knocking on it rhythmically, which was eerie. There was, we could tell there was something behind, there was curtains around the bed, and there was something on the bed we could see through the light, but we didn't know what it was. I guessed what it was. And then while we were concerned with the knocking on the door, when we turned back around to look at the bed, someone had opened the curtains, and there was a guy there, dead, with wires tied around him like a really bad 50 Shades of Grey cosplay. um,
Cutting
and
into his neck.
yeah, it basically suffocated him, and the bed was rotating because it's a love hotel bed, and apparently that's people like rotating beds. I don't know. Um, and so because it was rotating and he had wires around him, every time the bed would rotate, the wires would uh wind tighter around his neck. And what ended up happening, I suspect, because it didn't show it, was it chopped his head off. But also, just before that happened, the blonde girl just randomly woke up and gave me the fright of my life because I'm very easily scared by jump scares. And this is why I don't play horror games. Mostly.
You should.
No, I don't. No, and yeah, and then everything went red, and I think we fell unconscious. And at that point, I stopped, and Kuxo was mad, and maybe some of you were like, "No, don't do the Dragon Ball Z thing," and I did. So, ha. But we're back now. Good times. So, literally, we are starting where we left off in the last episode, right at the same point. It's, I think, the next day, and I'm just going to switch to the no avatars, and I'm definitely recording. I'm just going to check the folder, and yeah, I can see that's recording. That's all good. So let's jump into this. Okay, midnight. Oh, jaded police officer or detective, like it. We're getting. Like, you were complaining about not getting sprites for the police officers.
Now this guy gets one because he's a main character, but there's one in the background as well.
Yeah,
of the dude just carrying out work.
Yeah, see more.
That's a marked improvement.
Yeah, I'm happy. Right, so this guy's Shinjo.
Is this Shinjo?
Yeah, this the guy that the police officer was calling.
Yeah, on the phone. So this is a detective.
Right, so they've ID'd the victim. Right. His eyes moved.
22歳。渋谷在住のフリーターで更新でマーケティングのアルバイトをしていたようです。
So this guy was.
Wait a minute, I heard the term freeter.
What does freeter mean?
Basically like a freelancer sort of thing.
Maybe this translation is bullshit. A venture capital company located in Shibuya that participated in the post-earthquake reconstruction business. This is Koshin. After using massive amounts of money to monopolize the construction companies involved in the reconstruction, they moved on to other projects such as the introduction of new infrastructure, i.e. the deployment of high-powered security cameras around the city. They've also taken the lead in supplying business models and partnership opportunities to various non-profits and volunteer groups, and in helping establish self-sufficient communities among the survivors. In the process, they've made vast amounts of money. Some earthquake survivors and residents claim that they are a brutal, tyrannical company that does not hesitate to use evictions and eminent domain to take property they want. Oh. Could they be involved in all of this weirdness? Because they've got the cameras everywhere. That would...
I just want to correct the record on one thing. I just quickly searched the term freeter to make sure that my understanding was correct. And I've got the definition here, which is freeter is a Japanese word recently coined by combining the English word free and the German word arbiter or labourer. Typically, freeters are young people who do not have permanent full-time jobs, but instead have one or more part-time jobs or move from one short-term job to another. So it's more in line with contractor.
So yeah, they were saying he was a part-time. See, he was doing part-time marketing.
Part-time marketing. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I was a bit worried that the translation was super off. Also, he's close in age to the other guy, the guy that chopped his arm off, who was about 23 or 21. So this might be affecting people that were affected by this earthquake thing.
Well, the first guy was done by... first guy was 21 years old.
Yeah.
Second one was 20, and this one's 22.
Yeah, so they're around that age.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a love hotel, isn't it?
A good point, actually, yes.
同居人もなし。一人暮らしだったようです。
So what was he doing here? Shit, I wanted to get some juicy gossip. What?
He needs to inform his next of kin. He needs to find out what's going on.
Yeah, but you asked if he had a lover. You didn't ask if he had family.
Nah.
Shinjo cursed. Oh.
Indeed he did.
If he was single and not in a relationship, it would take time to figure out his private life. Oh. Fair enough. And Koshin was one of the companies that had profited the most from the recovery projects in recent years. Part-timer or not, if he worked there, he was probably pretty busy. It was possible that his co-workers knew just his name and nothing else about who he was outside of work.
Shinjo-san, マスコミへの対応どうしますか? 海洋見テレビやニコニアのネット記者が引き下がらなくて。
Wait, Nikonia have net reporters? Or does it just mean YouTubers that like do news? Do you get YouTubers in the West that go and like news, like actual news reporters, and go and get the news?
Yeah, we've got what are they called? TLDR News. They spread out to the USA now as well, and EU branch as well.
So they're based. mainly on YouTube, and they have reporters that go out just like all the other main news outlets.
I don't know if they have reporters, but they do research and they present news. You know, I don't know about reporters, but
yeah, because
there's that other guy. Actually, there is that one guy who goes around asking questions of people in weird places. I've forgotten his name. But you saw him at like the anti-vaccine marches.
Oh, I've seen
And-
clips of some of this stuff.
Yeah, and like pro-Trump marches and such. And he went around asking people, you know, just regular questions. And then people took clips, or either they made clips on his channel and, you know, just showing the crazies.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because I know you get news. I know you get news sites like, I know like Marco DeFranco. He talks about more YouTube drama, but he talks about the general news as well, and he has a team that does research and stuff. Like I know you get that. I'm just surprised to see on the ground news reporters for like a YouTube type thing. But maybe this is what happens in Japan back in 2015. So interesting.
Mm-hmm.
それから現場にいた例の子たちですが、壁標の新聞部と言っていた2人、状態は落ち着いたみたいなんですが、やはりところどころ要領を得ません。
Oh man, they're in so much fucking trouble.
もう一人の女の子も身元を示すものを何も持っていなく、柿田の交友関係、親戚筋から洗っていますが、まだ当たりません。こっちは完全黙秘です。
What do you think happened here? What do you think was supposed to happen here, according to this guy who's dead? Do you think he was meeting this blonde girl to get to enjoy some alone time in this love hotel with her? And it
Well, definitely not alone time, but
You
I
know,
mean, like that's the obvious theory. He was going to have a romantic rendezvous with Miss Blonde Pigtails, but shit went bad.
rendezvous.
That's the obvious theory. It's not going to be that.
No, but I think,
Not in a game like this.
but I think that might have been his intention, not necessarily hers.
So what you're saying is he was lured here into a trap.
Yes. Because the other two, definitely with the guy in the loser dude who eat cheese. Like they called upon him. They came to him, and then something happened, and he didn't realize what was happening. He was under the illusion something else had happened. It was just a
I
conversation.
mean, he was not the most like security savvy guy. He just like they knocked on his door and he's just like, oh, let's go see what's going on here, and then I don't know, got drugged or hypnotized or some bullshit.
I mean, look, mate. If someone knocks on your door, you go and open the door, don't you?
I mean, yeah, but I checked through the window first. That's the
But,
kind
like-
of area I live in.
But how do you look and you go, right, that guy's not obviously a danger, and then you open it, and then they could still, like, clearly they're not going to go dressed up as ninjas, you know, to like make it obvious that something's amiss.
If they want to gain someone's trust, there's only one thing you need to dress up as: an Uber Eats driver.
Yeah, I mean, what? I mean, they don't even dress up, mate. They just come with a plastic bag of food.
Yeah, have one of
half
them bags, like the delivery bags, because Uber Eats doesn't have their own bags, do they? They use delivery bags for some reason here.
Do they? Uber Eats? Yeah, I don't know what they. I don't get Uber Eats up here. I get Shit, we don't even have any up here. I live out in the sticks, so we just have delivery drivers, the standard one. There's no commoditized company, whatever, like
You're
Uber Eats.
missing out, man.
You get them, but not. I'm too far out. I'm in the town. You get them in
I
like
should
the
point
city.
out, for the sake of clarity, this video is not sponsored by Uber Eats.
No, man, it's not sponsored by anyone. Sponsor me. Give me money. But, you know, I do have some standards, and I'm not going to take money from...
I'm just going to keep doing that. Like, every time we talk about a company in, like, a positive light, if it's going to be, like, you know, the sort of thing where people are like, are they sponsored? I'll be like, no, we are not sponsored.
We're not sponsored, right? Mate, I don't even have 30 followers, so, like, 30 subscribers, so, like, that is not happening. I don't think I'll ever get sponsored, and if I do, it'd be a fucking weird world we live in, man. But yeah, I think the girl, there's something up with the girl. She's fishy. Yeah, and those two are in so much trouble. They kind of got what they deserved in a sense. They shouldn't.
I think they'll be let off. I think they'll be let off kindly. This police officer gives me the vibe that he'll just be like, "Nah, you damn kids, don't do that again." And they'll be like, "No, sorry." And they'll walk off and then be like, "Let's do that again."
Yeah, it's what
I know they got shit scared, but they will do it again at some point.
It's what.
Otherwise, there's no game.
It's what people. I mean, I could just be dismissing. It's what kids do, but it's also what people do. If you do something that's
Dumb
or dangerous, right? But you survive it. There's a thrill you get from it, and also, I mean, if it's something that are in the context of where a news reporter is finding out the latest, greatest scoop, it all ties in with like that excitement, and clearly Taku-kun, right, has he really wants to get down to the bottom of this. He loves researching this and trying to find out what's going on. So there's no way he's going to.
I just can't. With all that in mind, I can't believe how he fucking collapsed in tears and sweat and blood. Just like, I can't handle this. When he knew he was going into the kind of scene where it was following on from a series of murders, or at least alleged murders, or speculated murders.
They were like really hideous deaths at the very least. Yeah. And,
especially the girl who got gutted.
I mean, I thought the guy was worse. He literally
cut his arm off and started eating it.
Yeah, started eating on stream, man. Fuck.
Yeah, there's something like vaguely comical about that. Right?
Why? Because of the guy. He likes
because he was like, "I'm eating my cheese." That makes it funny. The girl, she was straight up just gutted and then had a speaker shoved in her stomach. That's horrific.
I don't know. I think they're both just as bad, to be fair.
They're definitely both bad. I'm just saying that something about that guy's one just cracks me up.
Because he was fail, man. And because his whole thing was, I pretend to be fucking poor. What the fuck, man? That is so stupid.
Yeah, that was weird.
And he looked so fail. He looked like he was in his 40s and he was 21. I couldn't take him seriously. I'm so bad. I shouldn't judge on appearance. I'm a horrible person. But yeah. See, that other girl doesn't have anything that would tell us who she is. We're checking if she is a friend or a relative of Kakita's. But no luck yet. She's refusing to say anything. She is suspect. I'm telling you, man.
あと、先ほど検視の方から問い合わせが。
待て、勝手に。
Do they run for it?
ニコニアニュースの渡部です。すいません。
Oh no.
一体何が起こって。
Where'd the police get the fuck out? We're actually like.
Wait. There was tips there.
They're from the Nikonia
News.
Nikonia, a news site offered by Nikonia that offers information on a number of topics. It consists primarily of summaries of articles written by various groups and individuals. But Lily has put resources into having its own journalists do original reporting as well. Yeah, this is what I'm surprised about, the original reporting. That's pretty cool. I'm reasonably impressed by that. I just need a brief comment. To get that £50 for the article. Ginger's men physically dragged the reporter out of the room.
Damn paparazzi.
I mean, how did he get in the first place when the whole place should have been cordoned off by the police?
Snuck past.
He had to stop himself from putting his hands to his head and moaning. He couldn't let his men see him acting weak.
I don't think that's acting weak. I enjoy that. Just a great face palm. Just be like, oh.
Like, that's not weak. That's just like being disappointed. And
yeah, it's like, oh, fuck this. What is all of this?
You know, he should be more like, what was our man's name from the Silver Case?
Which one?
The main man, the one I did the broad Scottish accent for.
Kasabe.
Just like him. Oh, what the fuck is going on? Oh, you fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you here and now.
Man, that guy was great.
What are you doing? I can't even remember what you said now. Good times. I loved voicing
that
him.
That game was great, man.
No, man, that
Fucking
game
hell.
sucked. That game, like, I loved that game, but it also sucked at the same time, man. I don't know.
No, it's a good game.
I didn't like the gameplay aspects. It was just like janky as fuck. I liked the story and where it was going, but like it just seemed. It's typical of that era of games where like some of them would just kind of be janky. They were testing new things out.
Especially like fucking 90s clunk on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, God, man, it's just. But I love the characters. It was fucking hilarious. Finding a guy.
Especially.
Well,
What was the?
What were you saying?
What was the name of my character?
Shit,
I've forgotten his name.
I mean, he was
Like the guy who started off looking super cool, and then like every time they drew him, he just looked lamer and lamer.
I can't remember. I can't remember any names, man.
Man,
It was good though.
he had like a slick haircut, and then it looked weirdly disheveled in some places. He looked slick in his outfit, and then suddenly his suit was like 2 sizes too big for him, and he had his dad's pants on.
And he was like flirting. Remember, he was like the not awkward, but that's like pure flirting he was doing with this woman that was like involved with
whom he's having a standoff with them
Yeah.
fucking aiming guns at each other.
Oh,
It's too bad we have to aim guns at each other. We could have fucked.
I mean, it was basically that was kind of what they were saying.
That is what they were saying, and they were even like, you know what, you want to fuck after this? Like, yeah, why not? And I'm like, just go for it. Like, you don't have to aim your guns at each other. But anyway.
I'm
And then
pretty
that
sure
fucking
he was there with his
the-
team though. He wasn't there on his own.
But then the dude fucking fell out the wardrobe with a ball gag in his mouth.
I was like, what the fuck?
Fucking hell, we need to pick that game back up, man. Fuck everything.
Oh, I need to. Fuck.
That was where we left off, man.
I need to. It'll just take effort. I need to like get it spun up again, and.
Whatever, we'll figure something out, man. Carry on. Carry on.
Yeah.
They
Enjoy.
don't want to know about this game. Yeah.
It's a good game. I mean, play the silver case or watch our playthrough. It's good.
We haven't finished it, man.
No. Long story short, I lost the save and I couldn't get another save to recover it, and I have to replay the
Your
game.
PC
up that point.
corrupted.
My whole hard drive died, and they still never sent back my bloody hard drive. Assholes. Anyway,
And you need to get that back from them.
can't be bothered. I'm not that bothered. But anyway,
Hmm.
Shinjo had been with Police HQ Section 1 for less than 7 years. So he didn't get along with his superiors, but he'd managed to beg his way into being in charge of this case. Why does it say less than 7 years? 7 years is a decent amount of time. Why don't you just say like...
This guy could have been there for like half a day, and it fits that description.
But like to say less than 7 years makes it sound small, when it's quite a
7
long
years is
period of
pretty
time.
decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Japan, where, I don't know, traditionally you'd stay in a job for your whole life, I suppose maybe that the impression is that's not a lot. Maybe this was his way of avenging the death of an older detective who he'd admired.
I'm gonna just say that's Kusabe.
すぐに外から見えないようにしといてくれ。あのネット記者は最近何するかわからん。
There's no telling what those net reporters will do. The filthy net reporters. Damn the
Just
internet.
close the fucking curtain, man.
検視は俺が直接対応する。それから会社の仕事周りへの人数を増やしてくれ。上には後で俺から言っておく。はい。それで例の子たちは
Let him go.
Nah, man. Shoot
そ
them.
れも俺が持つ。じゃ、よろしく頼む。
You're screwed.
はい。
His men raced out of the room. They'd never had a case like this before, and they were probably pretty excited.
Ah, yes, boys, we got a weird one.
We got a nasty death here. Oh, he was tied up on the bed and everything. Yeah.
Can't wait to get my cotton swab in that one.
Fuck's sake. So was Shinjo, to be honest. The whole thing was such a mess that he didn't even know where to begin, but his detective's instincts were screaming at him to start doing the work needed to find the killer. Okay. Then it goes into like Batman style detective mode.
the Arkham games are great.
Put on the glasses and you can see everything.
信用調査会社フリージアでございます。
This is Trustworthiness Investigation Company Frisia. Right, this better be a joke.
With a name like that.
His call was answered in the first ring, like always.
俺です。
あら、新庄ちゃん、遅かったわね。もうちょっと早く連絡が来ると思ってたけど。
Right, so this is his informant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this a stereotype where they have... It's like the kind of informant that's kind of like
Yeah.
effeminate.
How did the police get any... Oh, yeah, that seems a bit odd.
That seems to be... it seems to be a stereotype in it. I've seen... Like, I played... did you ever play the AI Somnian Files?
Oh, I want to. I've got it downloaded, but I haven't played it yet.
It was in there as well, where it was a close friend of one of the detectives and an informant. Not an informant, an information broker.
So one of the characters in Yakuza is like that as well. Not a main character, but like they run a bar.
Dude,
they're effeminate as well, and they're sometimes an informant, but not that often.
So this character was like was trans, right?
Yeah.
And they owned the bar as well, and they were a really like well-connected informant. And I'm like, this is an interesting, like, it seems to be a stereotype. It's a trope in these things for some reason, which, I mean, I have no problem with it, but it's an interesting trope. I don't know if it's based in reality or if
it's just interesting that it happens in multiple games now.
Yeah. But I feel like with anime, once you get something that happens a couple of times, it becomes like other people just use that trope for some reason. They just go with it.
It gets set in stone, yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, すいません。
Angel apologized without thinking, and for no clear reason. He always felt like a naughty child when he spoke to this CEO, who happened to be a woman.
現場の面倒をちゃんと見てるから苦労すんのよ。少しはあの人みたいにチャランポランでいきなさいな。
Like they did.
先輩の性格まで見習うつもりはありませんよ。
His senpai?
真面目だわね。いつまでも真面目が美徳だと思ってると痛い目見るわよ。
百瀬さん、そんなことより相談したいことがあるんです。
Angel cut her off before she could continue her lecture and gave her a brief description of the scene.
So that is a woman?
Yes. Well...
Not just an effeminate guy.
Oh, yeah, it could just be trans person or a woman, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, a woman.
Oh, right, okay.
I mean, yeah, a woman, but he says CEO. CEO. What? Is that a joke, or is this person actually the CEO of a company?
I mean, it said trustworthiness information something, right?
Yeah, but obviously that was in jest. He knew who was phoning her. This was a violation of the rules, but the only way to solve a crazy case was to be a little crazy yourself.
Yes!
What, do you just like ruffle your hair, you know, mess up your clothes and go in the street and go, blah, blah! I'm here, solve cases, yeah!
If it works, it works.
I mean, I don't know how that would work, but I'd love to just like let loose and be mental. Be my true self. That was the first thing he'd learned from that older detective. That older detective, okay.
それって殺人なの？自殺なの？
Omose asked her questions after he described the situation. She cut to the heart of the problem.
現状ではそれがわからないんです。
The hotel had gotten suspicious when Kakita had never come down after checkout time. When more than 10 calls to the room went unanswered, they had contacted the police. 2 officers as well as someone from the hotel had gone to the room and found a body and an unconscious girl. 1 officer stayed at the scene to keep it secure, and the other searched the hotel to make sure it was safe. Okay, so like there was two officers. One stayed in the room, and he was the one that was found either unconscious or
knocked
dead.
Out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say knocked out.
The girl was there from the beginning. This guy was already tied up at that point, so she was unconscious at that point. but there was someone in the room that let these people in, which I suspect is a girl. There was a broken window, or an open window, correction, which is how our main man Taku noticed that there was something up, because he saw that window.
And he heard the chiming of the music box.
Yes. So, I think this is all pointing to that girl being at least semi-suspicious.
Well, she's not given a statement, so, you know.
During the search, he'd forgotten to lock the employee entrance in the back, near the stairs. That was how the two students from Hekiho had gotten in. Shortly after he'd left the room, the girl woke up and started strangling the officer who'd stayed. Oh, okay. He'd hit his head on the edge of the glass window and knocked himself out. I bet he's embarrassed about that.
That should help, so.
A little girl woke up.
Everyone at the yard will be taking the piss out of him.
Oh, you got overpowered by a little girl. Well done, mate.
Yeah.
Who had actually been unconscious just before. So that's even more like when you wake up from unconsciousness, you're not usually at full strength, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He was going to be fine, but he'd been out cold until backup arrived. When the backup got there, they found the girl unconscious on the floor. A boy from Hekiho was passed out on the floor too. The other girl from Hekiho was throwing up, also on the floor. I mean...
Serika. Poor Serika.
Yeah. Kakeda's cause of death was asphyxia via strangulation. The wire around his neck was a kind of used at construction sites. It had been hung in an X pattern from the lights of the ceiling. And he'd been sitting on the bed as it rotated. That's why there was so much pressure on his neck that finally his head had been severed.
Knew it. Yep.
From the estimated time of death, Kakeda had passed away before the police had even been contacted. Oh. The body on the bed kept spinning in time to the music, one rotation every 2 minutes. In the end, the man's head had been cut off completely. The problem was the girl in the room. There was no indication that she'd ever touched Kakita. There were no fingerprints or any other signs that she'd touched Kakita's body, the bed, or the wire. The only things they found under her fingernails were skin and blood from the officer she'd strangled. In fact, there was no indication she'd touched much of anything in the room. Everything they found belonged to Kakita. Wait, did she not touch the door? Or was she...
Did she just like fall through the ceiling or something?
Nah, do you know what she did? She just used gloves, man. It's not hard. And she could have just chucked out the window or some shit. You know, we've got the recording from when we looked out the window. Maybe there's a clue there. Maybe there was something on the floor directly underneath the window that might have been chucked out.
That would be the hope.
And according to the officer she'd strangled, when she'd attacked him, she'd clearly been in an unstable psychological state. Ah yes, the fucking jump scare. Her eyes were bloodshot and out of focus.
That's more than bloodshot.
That's not blood coming out of her eyes though, it's tears. It's not like pure blood.
It's not freaking clear fluid though.
No, I mean it's not good, but it's not blood. It's not just blood. It might be a mix of the two. I don't know what.
There's some kind of fucking blood there.
Oh, I mean,
it's not
look,
just tears.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a mix, man, but I'm not like saying she's crying literal tears of blood. It's tears mixed with blood, more like.
It's still blood.
I don't even know. I mean, why wouldn't they just make it red then?
Why isn't it just the bottom of her eyes though? Why is it just the bottom of her eyes? Why isn't it the entire eye that's bloodshot?
Yeah, that's a good question as well. That might be important later on. Basically, she doesn't look too happy.
She don't look great.
So her eyes were bloodshot and out of focus.
つまり何？その女の子は柿田って男が死ぬのを黙って見ていて、部屋の中のものにほとんど触れず、混濁した意識のまま警官に襲いかかって首を絞めたと。
Did you forget the part where we said that she was unconscious when we found her? Shinjo scratched his head as he heard her sum up the situation. That was what it looked like, at least from what they knew right now. And just going by that, it sure looked like a suicide. But it was all far too strange.
なるほど。厄介だわね。現場に入り込んだっていう壁砲の子たちは？
Did Good question.
ショックが大きかったようで、最初は何も喋らなかったんですが、今は少しずつ話し始めています。ですが、いろいろと問題のある癖法の子ですから。
Eh?
Oh boy.
What? There's an issue.
Well, let's see.
He checked with the school and verified that they were part of the school's newspaper club. The security camera at the rear entrance had seen them coming in, which matched with their testimony. But he didn't know what to make of their testimony that the door had opened on its own, that someone else had tried to come into the room. The door was equipped with an automatic lock, and the only person inside the room who could have opened it was that girl. Well, that's what I said. I said it was the girl.
Locked to a mystery.
But there was no sign of her fingerprints on the door. He used a glove. And the security camera in the hallway showed no signs of anyone else trying to go in. Oh my god, bloody locked door mysteries. I'm just getting PTSD from Umineko. That visual novel took the utter rip out of the concept of a locked door. I mean, the whole thing was around proving whether a locked door was like... The locked room situation could be proven with logic rather than magic. Oof, I'm getting chills thinking about it, man.
It's good. I don't know what the issue is.
It was good, but it was just like the amount of levels of logic and oh man, it's like, oh yeah, he's called it. He's found out what the solution is. And they're like, no, that couldn't have happened because I put tape on the door behind. I'm like, shit, fuck you, fuck you, you ass.
Fucking Erica.
Yeah, fuck her. She was broken as fuck, man. God. Anyway. In any event, it was extremely rare for a civilian to see a dead body outside of a funeral. And in an unstable mental state, it was extremely easy to imagine things or just outright be mistaken about what was going on. If they turned out to not have any relationship to Kakita or the girl, he planned on letting them off with a stern warning.
Told you.
一番大きな手がかりは部屋に潜んでいたその子なんですが、何も喋りません。
そのままだと非感知よね。
That's a weird phrase. A weird term.
Yeah, psychiatric hold. Do they mean bisectioned? Yeah.
Here used to refer to the act of keeping someone in custody in a designated location, such as a mental hospital chosen by the police, until their psychological state has not... Yes, to be sectioned. What the fuck, man?
はい。そうなると大幅に捜査が遅れることになるので、そうしたくないんです。
Forget her mental well-being. Let's just put her in the prison cell and then cross-question her until she goes even more insane. Given your position, this is probably going to be pretty rough for you. Oh.
助かります。よろしくお願いしま
Everyone's
す。
got problems.
I'm just wondering who this person is. Are they an information broker or something else?
I mean, it's what he said.
Well, he said she's a CEO. I don't know what that meant. If it was literal or figurative. Shinjo went to hang up the phone.
ちょっと。
ちょっと待って。
はい。
そういえばお願いがあるのよ。絶対に新庄ちゃんのためにもなることなんだけど、聞いてくれないかしら。
It was basically an order then, Shinjo thought to himself.
何ですか？
この件に関して、私より詳しいうちの子が一人いるのよ。それで、今回の現場を直接見たいって言ってるんだけど、お願いできない？
Oh my god.
Right, is this actually your kid, or is this like a figurative thing for like one of the people that you train in whatever it is you do? And even if it is, new character alert! Also, why do they have a morbid curiosity for crime scenes? Makes me worried.
部外者を現場に？
いつだって物事を解決するヒントを与えるのは部外者よ。
After all, I'm an outsider too, she continued. In his head, Shinjo went over the steps he had to take and the time required to take them.
明日、いや、明後日で構いませんか？
さすが新庄ちゃん、話せるじゃない？よくそれで 堅物揃いの捜査一課に残れてるわね。
Works in section 1.
Section 1.
Not as good as section 9.
ではよろしくお願いします。
あ、ちょっと新庄ちゃん。
What more? He barely stopped himself from ending the call.
まだ何か？
念のためアドバイスをしとこうと思って。2つね。
Maybe this is just a woman who is the CEO of a company.
I don't see any reason to dispute that. I just want to know what they're going to say.
I wanted to give you some advice in case.
言っておくけど、さっきのは冗談じゃないのよ。
Oh?
は？
About the kids.
チャランポランで行きなさいっていうやつよ。
Oh, that.
Okay.
No, I think he knew she wasn't joking about the kid.
これから、間違いなく新庄ちゃんの理解の外にある事件は続くわよ。その時、一番邪魔になるのは常識だから気をつけなさいな。
This is a very ominous thing to say. This person seems to know a lot more than what they're letting on.
Well, if they're an information broker, then yes, they should.
そこで真面目に返事しているようではまだまだね。
I hate it when people say that. They've got a long way to go. Mostly paused for a second and chuckled.
うちの子に取って食われないようにね。油断してると新庄ちゃんが部外者になりかねないわよ。
I've got a feeling that this is a girl as well.
The kid.
Right, it's the same day. Cool.
なあ、ツイポ見た？
Twitter.
ああ、壁砲ボットのネタ画像でしょ。
The
でっ
meme.
かいウーパがドヤ顔して光るように座って渋谷も変わったとか言ってる。
Wait, what the fuck?
A ball-shaped mascot character from the popular manga Rai Gakuru, which began running in Roko Roko Comics in 2006. The anime version only increased its popularity, and large amounts of merchandise, such as stuffed animals, followed. Right, so Hekiho Bot is a Twitter account followed by over 80% of Hekiho's students. It's popular for its variety of tweets, which include funny memes, news about discounts at cafes and restaurants near Hekiho, school rumours, and the other things of interest to the student body. Despite the word bot designated an automated posting piano in its name, it doesn't post at regular times, and its posts vary in content, so it's thought to be an actual account run by someone at school.
そうめっちゃ切なそうなの。あれさ、文化祭で使うね。渋谷復興の歴史の展示なんてどうせ誰も見ねえじゃん。
Huh, harsh.
画像だけじゃ弱くない？なんかぬいぐるみとか実際に置かないと。
Male student started to search through Shibuya's stores with his smartphone. Must have found something strange because he kept mumbling, "No, why?" Ito was recording Newspaper Club's project for the festival. A bunch of random footage of the preparations in the cafeteria.
そんなもんで盛り上がってる場合かっての。
The body had just been found in Dogensaka yesterday, and all the students cared about was their stupid jokes. The body was found less than 10 minutes away from the school, but they barely even mentioned it.
ま、確かにまだ大掛かりには報道されてないけどさ。
Yeah, there's that. Plus, I don't sit there reading news about the local deaths in my locality, you know what I mean? Like, unless it makes national news or... Yeah, unless it makes national news, I don't really hear about things myself. I don't look at the local news too much. So I'm not...
Our local news, I mean, we follow things on like Instagram and that of what's going on in the local area.
Yeah,
like
I know.
We showed you earlier today.
Yeah, you have more... But that's different. I feel like we don't have... I mean, maybe we have that. I don't use Instagram for news. But these social sites are probably where you get more local stuff just via video recording, people recording stuff that's happening. But like when it comes to stuff like deaths, obviously you're not going to get that as much on Instagram because people are not going to be able to have access to that to take recording. And I don't know. I wouldn't blame kids for not knowing about something that's happened recently that's not even made major news. So the first reports had been on the major communications company's website. That was where Ito had seen it. It had been last night. It had made the morning news and the morning papers, but all that had been reported was that a body had been found, that no details were known. And it was rare for a high school kid to check the TV news papers every day. Exactly. Get off your high horse. There was no word from Miyashiro. Ito was really worried about what had happened at the Love Hotel, but he had no way of asking about it. So he knows, I'm assuming he knows that the Love Hotel is where that death happened. He took out his phone, even though he knew he hadn't got any calls. Sure enough, there were no messages. He'd been doing that a lot since yesterday. He couldn't bring himself to make a call. He didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say to a friend who'd been taken away by the police. Good point. That's an obnoxious laugh if I've ever heard one. Just trying his patience. The laughing students irritated Ito in a way that he didn't really understand. He'd been planning on videotaping the entire cafeteria today, but instead he gave up and left. Ah yes, here we are again with Nono-chan or Non-chan or whatever. The lovely small neck. Which actually might not be that much smaller than Serika's, but...
No, it's the way it's drawn, it looks so awkward.
He went inside the club room and saw Kurusu was there. Kurusu's expression clouded for a moment. She also blinked weirdly as she shook her head. Luckily, the club advisor had told him that Kurusu had taken a change of clothes for Miyashiro to the police station last night. He'd been told that neither Miyashiro nor Onoe were hurt. The police were probably going to let them off with a warning, and if they weren't suffering any after effects from the trauma, they'd be let go in the morning. The school was over, it was almost evening, and there was no word from either of them. Not good. Ito dropped into his chair.
学校のみんなは平和なもんだよ。昨日のことなんてほとんど誰も話してないんだぞ。
そう。
It's because you live in a normal, you go to a normal school, mate.
されてるだけでほぼ1週間に2人のペースで誰かが殺されてるんだから、変死体があったってだけじゃ別に真新しくもないけどさ。にしたってな、道玄坂なんてもろ近所じゃん。下手したらそこを通って登校してるやつもいるかもしれないってのに。つかいるだろ、うちなら。あれかな、あいつがいつも言ってるみたいに社会に関するニュースを載せてるサイトとかにアクセスしないやつばっかりなのかな。
The real news sucks, man. Can you blame people for not reading the news? I mean, I always get depressed when I read the news. Especially the last 5 years.
That's more than that, mate.
A constant barrage of just misery. Like utter misery. And the newspapers just like capitalize on that. They just like get off on that like a freaking druggie on cocaine. Just
they've interpreted no news as good news in the other way now.
Kurusu chuckled.
Huh?
心配なんでしょ、二人のこと。
Why are you smiling at that? He touches his chin a lot. Ito started to speak, but then choked back.
別に。
Oh!
副部長こそ心配なんじゃないの?
The daddy? He's the daddy? Aren't you worried, Miss Vice President? Ridiculous, she chuckled.
怒ってる。処置なしだもの。セリカはともかくとしてね。 忠告も聞かずに突っ込んで無茶するからこんなことになる。
Yep, he deserves it, to be fair.
伊藤
Everyone
君に
warned
も
him.
新聞部の文化祭の映像押し付けることになるし。
いや別にそれは大したことないからいいんだけどさ。
ダメ。与えられた役割はきっちりこなすのが当たり前でしょ。
Oh,
ここ
prissy
か
boy.
That guy, yeah.
クルス予算の件どうなってる？
Did he pull his pants back up?
Oh shit. Wait. No, that he imagined that. Shit, now I have to try and remember
imagined that.
what was real and what was imagined. Oh no. The delusions are gonna fucking mix with reality. Maybe that's the point of the game. Yeah, he clearly has a crush on her. So why was he getting so pissed off at Taku-kun? Or Taku? Because if Taku's her brother, then he should fuck off. I mean, what does he care? But if he saw Taku... Because I thought he was getting jealous of him because whatever her name is, Non-chan or Kurusu, was talking to Taku. I thought that made him jealous and that's why he was being a shithead about it. I don't know. Kawahara appeared. He was very out of breath.
予算？
超過した予算をまとめたやつ。経理がまだかって。
Kurusu frowned as she realized her mistake.
ごめん。すぐにメールでまとめて送るから。
なるはやで担当の教師が帰っちゃう前に。
Oh, you off your game as well. Kawahara ran off before Kurusu had time to answer. And before he was even out of sight, Kurusu was typing furiously. Kurusu had booted up the PC and started to tap at the keys. Wait a minute, she just had to send an email. She didn't need to type that much. Why is there no mouse clicks? Why is there no mouse clicks? This is not realistic. BS.
何？
One sec, I'll just type furiously. I'm on my computer, I just type. That's what you do.
別に。
Oh, have you ever seen this clip? Right, I think it's from one of the NCIS TV series or something. I don't know. It's from one.
Oh, is it the fucking enhanced one?
No, it's like
No, sorry, where they unplugged the fucking monitor at the end of it. It's like, I solved the problem, guys.
no,
Yeah.
it's worse. than
Wait, what
that.
one then?
It's where they're like, oh no, we need to hack into this thing, and then the person's typing furiously on the keyboard, and then there's like another woman working with them. He's like, I'll help you, and they're both typing on the same keyboards.
Wait, that's the one I'm thinking of, right? And at the end of it, the head guy just comes and pulls the fucking monitor. It's like, I solved it.
Yeah, I need to watch the full clip, man. I just remember the
Oh, my
typing.
God.
It's like, oh, we're hacking, typing furiously. So fucking good. Which of us is more obvious? That's what Ito was about to say before he stopped himself. Normally it was impossible to imagine Kurusu not doing her job. For a while after that, Kurusu focused intently on her work. Ito didn't have much else to do, so he watched her, like a creep. I mean, okay, I'm being harsh. I get it. He's got nothing else to do. I would do the same thing. I'd just be like morbidly curious. It's like, When he looked carefully, he could see small dark spots under her eyes. Ah, the makeup didn't cover it enough. She probably hadn't slept. And then Ito realized for the first time, Kurusu had probably come to the club room to see if either of them had contacted him. With all the preparations that were going on, there was no other reason for her to be here.
なんとまあ、あの女帝がね。
Kurusu pressed down hard on one final key as she finished her task.
That's a lot of final keys, yeah.
She types quite fast as well. I'm impressed. Then suddenly, an unpleasant sound filled the room. Wonder what this is going to be.
Her sighing.
Oh shit, this is going on. What the fuck?
なあ、
Why are you moaning so much? Oh, it's this dude. Girl.
Yeah.
Good headphones. They looked over and saw that Kazuki was nibbling on dried squid as she played her game, oblivious to everything around her. Wait, why is she allowed to just play the game in here all the time?
Because it's what she does.
But it's the newspaper club.
She's not part of the club. She's just chilling in the room playing on the computer.
But this room is for the newspaper club. Ito had seen her come in after Kurusu had started her work. He thought she might say hello, but knowing her, maybe not. He'd also seen her start to play her game. He'd been trying not to bring it up, but that was clearly impossible now. He must have been concentrating pretty hard. Her gaze was constant and steady. Ito sighed.
こいつはいつでもマイペースだな。他人に興味がないのかね。
そんなわけないでしょ。この子は他の人よりほんの少しだけ自分が強いの。
That's a very charitable thing to say. What I would say is, she just doesn't give a fuck.
にしたってよ。
He's in the same club as them, started to say. Kurusu stopped him with a raised hand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's not in this club.
He looked down at Kazuki's game screen.
そうでもなかったみたい。
Kurusu chuckled and took off Kazuki's headphones.
Kazuki.
Wait, that's an invasion of
私は
privacy.
ゲームやらないから詳しいことはわからないけど。
Demo?
But...
Oh, why do I have to talk to the fucking lame humans?
この家の壁に向かって延々と火の玉出してるのは何か意味があるの？すごい勢いで燃え広がってる。
Look, she is part of this club then.
Yes.
The issue, Kurusu was trying to point out was that she was distracted as well because she was just chucking a fireball at a house continuously. Kazuki looked back at the screen with a stunned expression on her face. She yanked the headphones out of Kurusu's hands and quickly put them on and started to pound at the keyboard again. Because that's what you do when you're playing an RPG game or an MMORPG, you furiously type. Unless she's flaming people.
落ち着きなさい。というかその煩わしいスルメ飲み込むか出すかしなさい。行儀悪い。
Yes, that's the most important thing here. Manners.
What manners?
Like that's the thing we should concentrate on. You need to have good manners, not about fucking... Kazuki may or may not have heard her because she struggled with a game for a while and then... Just eat that, man. It looks gross. She hunched forward and was sad with her back towards us for some weird reason. She froze like a toy whose batteries had ran out. Oh, like the Duracell battery bunny. Meow.
You got the 1-to-1 scale anime figure in your room now.
The squid she'd been chewing fell out of her mouth and landed on the desk.
What the fuck? Oh god.
She stared at it for almost 30 seconds as if something impossible had happened. Wait a minute.
Wait, I thought Kurusu took off her headphones.
Why is her chest so big? Seems a bit odd. I don't know.
I mean, it's just biology.
That's not biology, that's fucking anime logic. Her neck is okay though. Now I'm obsessed with necks for some reason. Oh, she actually uttered something. Then she silently stood up and staggered over to the shelf where she kept the electric coffee maker. They have a coffee maker in here. Wait, why are they not having tea? This sucks. Her face had turned pale.
Kazuki?
They're Japanese, man.
Japanese have
Their
tea.
is like Japanese tea.
So I want Japanese tea. She's having coffee.
Coffee 入れてくれるのか?
Coffee?
God.
The person they clearly didn't want to pay the voice actress for her, so they're just like, just make grunting noises.
What are you talking about? They have to pay her regardless. Her script is the same. Like, they just have to pay her. I know she'll just come and be like, into a microphone a few times, but still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not paying her that much because she just did a couple of grunts and they repeat it. I mean, maybe she starts talking. Maybe I'm being jumping the gun here, but
I do think she will.
no, man. Has book there actually? You can almost make it out. Wait 1 second. Inera? Nah, interesting. Kazuki nodded in answer to Ito's second question. Started to make coffee with shaking hands. Oh, she's worried as well. She made Kurusu her usual, with 2 cubes of sugar, and gave Ito a coffee mixed with milk. Then she made a cup for herself, black, but didn't drink a drop. Do you ever add sugar cubes to your tea or coffee? I feel like that's like too much.
Who, me? I don't put any sugar in my tea.
I don't use sugar in my tea anymore because I'm an old man.
Nah, I don't like it.
No, do you know I used to have like 3 sugars. I used to have loads of sugar in my tea. And
nah, my dad is that type where he puts like 2 massive spoons of sugar in his tea, but I don't like that, man. I'm like, nah, my tea has to be straight. It's just like, I don't like having sugar in it. It makes it way too sweet.
But you have it with milk?
I have it with milk. I have tea with milk, or sometimes I have black tea, but like I never have sugar with it.
Yeah, I don't have sugar in my tea now anymore. Like for years, I've not had it with sugar. Sorry, and what I did was I transitioned. So from sugar, I went to adding honey, which was weird, but I got used to it. As a slightly more healthier sweetness than sugar. I don't know if it is or not. And then I weaned myself off that as well to go just like cold turkey and have just tea with milk. And you get used to it, and it's fine. Like, I don't need. I mean, I shouldn't be having. I drink too much. The reason why I did it is because I drink loads of tea, and I'm having a lot of sugar with that. And so, like, to try and I still want to drink loads of tea, but I don't want to have loads of sugar.
When I was in school, like secondary school, right, I used to drink so much tea that if I didn't drink tea, I'd get headaches.
Wow.
Then I got told off by a friend and said that I should stop. I shouldn't do that. Like, I'm addicted. And when I'm like, I'm addicted? Am I an addict? So then what I did was, to get off that addiction, I just went proper cold turkey on the tea and just didn't drink it. And I had some cracking headaches for a few days, but then afterwards it just went. And since then, I've been able to drink tea just like as and when I want it, and I never have that headache if I don't have it.
Did you not swap that addiction though for like fizzy drinks though? I feel like you drink.
I do drink a lot of fizzy drinks. I wouldn't call that an addiction, but then again, that's something an addict would say.
Yeah, I mean, how many times? How long do you not drink fizzy drinks for? You know what I mean? Is there long spells, and do you feel it? Because that's when you know.
It depends. Oh, no. It's not that if I feel it. It's just that, I drink if there's nothing else to drink. I just, I go to the fridge.
I know what it is. Like, yeah. It's like you want something to drink. You want it to be tasty of some sort in some way. And, like, fizzy drinks are there in the fridge. And I do it.
That and orange juice, yes.
So I think orange juice is a lot less, obviously a lot better. It's not perfect, it's still sweet, but like
goes better with breakfast as well, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm
gonna take a swig of this Pepsi Max.
So what I do is I've got a bottle of water that I walk around with, and I try and drink that, and that helps me to eat a bit less because I'm filling myself with water and feeling a bit full, and also drink less. I try not to drink fizzy drinks as much. I just drink loads of tea though, which is not great, but not as bad. So
and that concludes this episode of Addicts Anonymous.
Yeah, shit, we're already reaching an hour. I'm going to go on for... I'm going to stop it here, actually. Let's carry on for a bit, see where this goes. And then...
and now he carries on.
Well, I just for a bit, just to close, because this is in the middle of a thing. She's making tea.
So was the last one.
No, we stopped at a cliffhanger, though. That was a good cliffhanger. Her forehead slammed into the desk with a thud, and she became so quiet it was impossible to tell if she was breathing. Kurusu looked to Ito for aggrievement as she cleaned up Kazuki's squid.
That girl has problems, man.
He took a sip from his coffee, not sure what to think. To him, none of this made any sense.
It doesn't make any sense to us either, mate.
Kurusu didn't say another word as she drank her coffee. Should have asked.
Just a lot of sighing and umming and erring.
Yeah, this kind of sucks, man, from the last scene. Ito looked up to the blank ceiling and decided that this was as good a time as any to ask. It wasn't that it was wrong, but it still felt kind of awkward. Hey, you know how you said you were related? Or something?
あいつがこんなに事件に入れ込んでるのって何か理由があんの?
Oh, that, okay.
That is a good question. Are they still in custody?
I think so. Kurusu froze. She lowered her gaze as if searching for answers in her coffee cup. Ooh.
伊藤君こそずいぶん事件に対して熱心じゃない?
Don't fucking twist the thing back to me, right?
Fucking whataboutism, yeah.
She seemed to be trying to change the subject.
俺はこういうのが好きな人だから。
I'm just a weirdo. What's up with Taku? Explain.
こういうの?
猟奇的な事件。でも昨日みたいに現場に忍び込むっていうのは。
Yeah, that's a step above.
I was going too far, he continued. Kurusu silently took another sip of her coffee. God, I could do with a coffee just now that I think about it. I'm not like a massive coffee fan, but my bro likes to make coffee. He's got a little coffee machine. Grinds those beans. Not bad. She seemed to be staring.
Coffee's good, man.
Yeah, I've always thought it was a bit too strong, but it's one of those things you get kind of used to it. I don't want to get too used to it.
I like a proper strong coffee. Yeah,
Ooh.
I don't have it very often though.
I know you like yours, like you like your men. No, I'm just kidding.
That scene from Airplane.
I love it. I love it. Like I've had an Americano that's like just black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that once. Oh, it's hard. It's hard to drink. She seemed to be staring at a single point in the distance, lost in thought. It was clear that while she was seeing the things around her, none of them held any meaning to her. Looking at her scared Ito a little. Ooh. Was it really that big a deal?
Oh, here we go. Headache again.
そういうわけじゃない。
That's not it. My wig was just falling off.
伊藤君と同じ。タクルも好きだもの、こういうの。
Basic stream.
危なっかしいところに首を突っ込みたがるのも昔からだし。
He is.
It doesn't seem like it.
No, he does not. I see, Ito said.
小学校からだっけ? あいつが副部長と一緒に暮らすようになったの。
Eh?
ええ。
So they like.
正確には被災して少し経ってからだから、中学生に上がるか上がらないかの時だけど。
Right, so he.
So who was adopted? Which one was adopted then?
Probably.
Right.
Because he's the one that's living on his own now, isn't he?
Yeah.
In a fucking. What the hell's that? Building? Kurusu and Miyashiro.
That's the 10-4 building, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, looks trashed. Kurusu and Miyashiro were both what people called earthquake orphans. Oh, they'd both been in 6th grade when they'd lost their parents to the earthquake. Since they had no relatives to take them in, they had been sent to the same group home, the localized small-scale children welfare facilities, Alba Dormitory. Fuck, that is a mouthful. With a small-scale children's welfare facility with a maximum capacity of up to 6 children, also called group homes, these facilities are often the homes of private, individual families and are said to be able to offer more personalised care for the children.
So it's just foster care?
Yeah. Kids like them weren't common, should we, these days, but they weren't exactly rare either. Oh shit, are all of these people the same? Miyashiro had been so badly injured during the earthquake, he'd been put into a coma. He was still in that coma when he arrived at the dorms. What, they took him to the dorms in a coma? What the fuck? The head of the dorm was also the head doctor at the Aoba clinic downstairs, and so for a while that was where he was kept. Kurusu had taken care of literally all his needs. Oh. There were 4 kids at the facility. Kurusu and Miyashiro were the oldest. Since her birthday was earlier than his, she dubbed herself the oldest of 4 siblings, and volunteered to take care of the other 3. Even back then, Miyashiro had a habit of being so curious and getting into trouble.
だいたい天の弱だしね。みんなとは違うってよく言ってるでしょ。
He's an edgelord. He thinks he's special.
He's not an edgelord. He's just an idiot.
He's also an edgelord, man. You know that he's an edgelord on the internet.
Oh yeah, I did make that joke about him in like one of the episodes.
A right-sider or whatever the fuck he thinks he is as well. He spoke like a parent worried for her child's future. Told you to get lost. Who's this?
Oh god, the teacher's here. It says teacher.
Oh, this guy looks dodge. I don't know, there's something about that expression that looks dodge.
He's giving me the vibe of the guy who's like, yeah, I'm your cool teacher, but I'm doing stuff behind the scenes.
I'm the cool teacher. Come into my room after class. Don't tell anyone. The club advisor, Wakui, was quite relaxed as he came into the room. Kurusu quickly stood up and rushed over to him. And I think I'm going to...
This is a good spot.
Stop here. Let's just stare at the fucking weirdness of this teacher. Let me just...
Won't that be a great sight to be welcomed back to when you start this up again?
Yeah, look at that. Look at this weirdo. And switch back to avatars. So yeah, interesting stuff. I mean, this has been a slower episode. The last episode was a lot better. A lot fast-paced. A lot of stuff happened.
That one was fucking slow, mate. Stuff happened, but all at the end.
Yeah, but it was good. It was a good ending. I felt excited.
Yeah.
And this has just been like, blah. I suppose like getting a bit more information about our main Kai Taku, or Miyashiro, whatever.
And also getting introduced to the police, getting introduced to his informant, getting introduced to this guy.
And there's a new character.
We're starting to see more people. Yeah, we're starting to see new people everywhere.
There's a new character that's been hinted as well, with the informant saying that she's going to send one of her kids over. That's definitely going to be another main character.
Oh, and we haven't seen him yet, yeah.
Yeah, her. I think it's going to be a her because I'm pretty sure the intro is like this Taku-kun was with a harem of women, so probably going to be a girl. And this guy looks dodgy. I don't know what it is, how they've done it, but they've made him look like, yeah, normal kind of like slightly this like thingy teacher, but also slightly dodge. I think it's
because they know how to use character design.
It's the beard. It's the way he's It's his eyes are a bit smaller. Yeah, it's the.
Where are his hands?
They're there.
Oh yeah, I thought so. He's got his arms folded. Yeah.
It's just I think that expression, the slight smile, those eyes are bad man eyes. Like dodge man. I think it's the eyes really more than anything else. And then
you could very easily warp that face into a menacing one.
You could also warp it into like a really nice guy.
Yeah, that's what makes him shady.
Dodge. But yeah, this has been part 5, I think. 6? Fuck, I don't know.
6.
Part
6.
Part 6 of Chaos Child. Another slow burn, but we're getting there, and I think we're not like stalling as much. So
I think the whole series is quite a slow burn. I remember Chaos Head, the anime, being quite a slow burn. Probably the visual novel was as well. And some of the other games like Steins Gate and so on, I think they're a little slow to start.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this goes. I'm enjoying it. It's good. It's interesting. We're getting more and more information, getting drip fed more bits of information about that we can like speculate on as to what the hell's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all good. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Do leave a comment. Have any comments about what we've talked about, good or bad? Like, dislike the video if you liked or disliked it, and if you do enjoy these videos, maybe subscribe. Also, I'll put a link in the video description. Look out, Kuxo has his own channel called Kuxo. He does videos there. We do this stuff on his channel with the games he plays. He is doing Elden Ring, so he streams that from time to time. There's quite a few videos up there.
Yes.
Enjoy that. We've got some Pokemon playthrough stuff, and he's got.
I do need to revisit that at some point as well. But yeah. Koikari and Elden Ring are my main ones right now, and I'll pick something up later on as well, depending on what games come my way.
Koikari's good. That series is good. It is an eroge, but it doesn't have as much hentai
It's
stuff. in
good, man. But
It's
fucking
more story.
Elden Ring
Yeah.
is so long. I expect that game to take a long while because I've learned that I thought I was getting to the end of the game when in the capital city. No, nowhere near it.
Oof.
Nowhere near the end of the game.
Well, I suppose that's good. More content, more time for us to muck about. So
Yeah.
So do look at his channel. It's good.
Thank you. Yes.
And I think I'll leave it there. So I am Ashmanix.
And I'm Kuxel.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Laters.